As you all know, this DJI Osmo Pocket 4P is not available anywhere. It is only available in the southeast countries, but still I was able to do some magic and get this camera in my hand in India. I have purchased this DJI Osmo Pocket 4P with all my hard-earned money, and this is not a collaboration. So this is a complete honest review. I would like every one of you to watch it. Every shot which you are going to see in the video was filmed during the last week using the all-new Osmo Pocket 4P. So I took this camera everywhere with me. I just documented every single part of the day, whether it be work, whether it be filming my client stuff, whether it be dancing in the rain, or it be anything. I use this camera to its full capacity. By the end of this video, you will totally understand where it shines and where it falls short. Or if you are a Pocket 3 user, you will also understand whether you should upgrade or not. So the next feature sets the Osmo Pocket 4P apart from all the other pocket cameras available, which is the 3x lens or the telephoto lens in the Osmo Pocket 4P. So this single telephoto lens changes everything. Now, since you have a telephoto lens, you get the option of 3x, 6x and 12x. These three focal lens you can use to take videos or photos of products, food, cars, subjects, or be creative with it. Whenever I am using any camera, what I mostly like is to have the flexibility to use any focal length at the tip of my fingers. So right now it is actually 1 AM, so that is why my cat is sleeping over here, but he is going to sleep here only anyhow. Coming back to the point, the 3x focal length among the other two focal lengths 6x and 12x is the sharpest because it is the native telephoto lens, which is I think so 60mm. The best thing about this is that it has 1.8 aperture, because of which it is also really good in low light conditions.
So this is the result after attaching the extra light, fill light, which is given by this camera, and it is pretty good. Yeah. Let's turn this off. So this is the result after turning the light off, and let's turn it on again. This is at the lowest setting, medium, and this is the brightest. Perfect. Quite good.
Earlier I had doubts that whether the 6x will be really usable or not, but when I tried and tested the 6x, it is really usable. Even though it is not the native focal length of this camera, it is really usable. The footages or the clips which we get using the 6x, they are also sharp, and I think so we can definitely use it.
Now I will quickly compare this Pocket 4P with the Sony a7 IV, my main camera, and let's see if this really can replace the Sony a7 IV. This is at 1x using D-Lock. Now I will quickly switch to 3x. This is at 3x. My goal is to focus on those buildings over there. Now I will quickly switch to 6x. This is 6x. This is 12x, and this is the max range for this camera. Now let me quickly compare it with the main camera. Let me quickly switch back to 70mm. This is 70. So let us now quickly compare between the iPhone 15 Pro versus the Pocket 4P.
The feature which everyone is talking about, the 17 stops of dynamic range. Is it really true or is it a gimmick? So by the end of this week, I totally understand few points about the 17 stops of dynamic range. These were the points which I started loving it a little bit more, but there are also few points where I started to hate this feature a lot more. So basically, to use the maximum potential of the 17 stops of dynamic range, you should film using D-Lock 2. The highlight recovery when you start using the D-Lock 2 is pretty noticeable. Even if you expose it by 2 stops or let it be 3 stops or 4 stops, you can easily recover it. And the same case is about shadow recovery. The more you expose, the better the shadows will be. There will be no noise. And D-Lock 2 really provides the color grading flexibility. It makes sure that color grading the footage is a little bit easier, but sometimes it is also a tricky part. So one thing which I have learned by using the D-Lock 2 to its potential is, so you have to overexpose the D-Lock footage by 2 stops, so that when you are color grading, you can bring back those details and the final footage looks good. But if you by mistakenly forgot to overexpose the shot, then you're gone. So your footage which you're looking on the screen, I forgot to overexpose it, and because of which I am not even able to color grade it. But if you are someone who can help me with this, you can please comment. If you are filming using the normal D-Lock, then you have to make sure that you overexpose the footage by the 1 stop or 1.3 stops. So the one thing which you should remember about D-Lock 2 is that you cannot use D-Lock 2 in 3x, 6x or even 12x. It's a bummer, right? When I was recording in 1x mode in D-Log 2, when I saw a scene when there was a bird or when I wanted to switch to different focal length, I had to change every complete setting so that I can use 3x, 6x or 12x in D-Log. But thankfully DJI has given this customizable button. So what I did using this customizable button is that I applied all the settings related to D-Log so that whenever I click this button, I can switch from D-Log 2 to D-Log.
This is the button. When once click, we can switch back to D-Log 2 so that I can record in 1x, and when you click it again, it will switch back to D-Log for 3x. Can you click the button? See, so the profile is over here. Can you click it again? See, profile changes. So this is how I switch back to D-Log 2 to use the 1x mode.
But even after using this customizable button, this whole process is time taking. If we compare this with its competition, Insta360 Luna Ultra, Insta360 provides iLog to all the focal lengths available, whether it be 3x, 6x, 12x or even the 1x. You can use iLog and you can get the videos in same quality available for all the focal lengths. This is the biggest point which I feel is that DJI should work upon so that they can send a firmware update to fix it, or I don't know how they are going to fix it.
So while I was testing the slow motion for this camera, I found a point where it lags. So basically in 4K 240 FPS, you can't switch from 1x to 3x. You just can use 1x lens, but you can do that when you are filming in 4K 200 FPS.
The stabilization on the Pocket 4P is really good. There were situations where I filmed the model or my client while running, and the footage, the end result was so stable that even my client was surprised.
So we are now going to try and test the stabilization test of this camera as well as the tracking speed. We will be filming this in 1x as well as 3x. So 3, 2, 1, go. Chalo, run. So as you can see, I'm running really heavily, but still the stabilization is really good and the tracking was also accurate. So let's see in editing.
Because whenever I use my camera, the one which I'm recording from like Sony a7 IV, whenever I use such cameras, I can't get this type of stabilization without using a gimbal, and gimbal is at added cost. Right now, look at him. But right now, as you all know, Pocket 4P has an inbuilt gimbal, and the videos that come out through this camera is super smooth and stabilized. And honestly, this is the biggest reason why people buy pocket cameras, whether it be 3, 4, Luna Ultra or Pocket 4P. Stabilization is really key to good video. Someone who wants comfort of taking stabilized video without taking any much of effort, this is the perfect camera for them. I personally like how good this camera is at tracking. It never loses the focus. Once you tap on your subject, the focus is really good. It never misses it.
So right now let's check how good the tracking is. Let's see. It is quite good. Let's check over here. Oh, let me wait over here for a few seconds. Oh, it's still tracking. Quite impressive. I can't beat this tracking.
हाँ हो रहा है ट्रैक. अरे पूरा ट्रैक हो रहा है, थोड़ा हिल भी नहीं रहा भाई, चिटक के चल रहा है पूरा. अभी भी हो रहा है. और भाग. ठीक है. अरे वो हिल रहा है, वो तो मैं भूल ही गया था. साला भाई क्या तगड़ा कैमरा है यार.
Even if you try to hide somewhere, or even if the subject is fast, he will make sure it is in frame.
शुरू से बनता है एक इन्फ्लुएंसर दोस्त मुझे कुछ खरीद के दे.
Recording this at 12x, and this is the max where I can go. There is a lot of disturbance in the frame, so let us see how good the tracking is at 12x. So as you can see, the tracking is quite good. Let me go back again. I feel it will fail over here because there is a lot of disturbance. Oh, it is still tracking. It's still tracking. What if I wait over here? It fails. It fails and subject lost. Yeah, but it is still quite good at tracking, and I feel that is the most anyone will use because it is still good.
So there is this feature in this camera where you can register your face. I think so up to 3 face you can register in this camera. But sometimes if there is no one else to film us or document us, we try to run towards the camera and go back to the frame just to start recording. But this is not the case with this camera. There are gesture controls in this camera. So when you just hold this sign in front of the camera, it starts recording. And similarly, when you hold it again, it will stop recording. This sign will track your subject and it will move according to the subject. When you show this sign again, it will stop tracking. For solo travelers like us, this is really good feature. I really don't know if this camera is waterproof or not, and I don't really think so this camera is waterproof, but even in intense weather conditions like raining, I use this camera to film few videos like basically of city or people crossing by. Tried my best not to get this camera in a wet situation. It is really so easy to film using this camera rather than using a bigger DSLR camera. So if you are someone who wanted to know about can this camera be pushed to extreme boundaries like filming in rain or filming in hot situations, I think so you surely can. So one of the best, important and quite surprising update which has been given to this camera is 104 GB internal storage. Can you really believe it? The battery backup is really good. So I think so this can easily last with you for 1.5 hours to 2 hours or sometimes 3 hours depending upon how you use this camera. If you are opting for this camera, you should also be carrying one power bank with you, so that you never miss any shot just because your camera died. But you also have to remember that this camera also gets hot sometimes. I really know what you guys must be thinking. Can this camera replace your normal DSLR camera or mirrorless camera that you use every single day for documenting or for filming your client? I feel that this camera cannot directly replace your camera because every camera is in itself has some special characteristics. The inbuilt microphone of this camera is really good because there are few settings which you can tweak and you can force the inbuilt audio from the camera to listen only you.
So right now I've attached the camera Pocket 4P to my bike. I'm really scared, so much scared right now, but फिर भी I'm trying.
So now we have heard about all of the pros for this camera, but there are few cons as well for this camera. So the biggest con is that you cannot use D-Log 2 in 3x, 6x or 12x. I feel this is the biggest con ever. So what I've observed is that if you move from 3x to 6x, there is a slight exposure change.
See, at 3x this is bright. When I switch to 6x, it is darker. Switch to 12x, no change. Again 3x, brighter. 6x, darker, 12x, no change.
And one more thing, D-Log and D-Log 2 has color recovery mode, but the gallery does not even have the color recovery mode. I also wish that this DJI gimbal should have the gimbal lock mode same as the DJI RS5, because if you are shooting using this camera, it keeps on moving around and you can't just lock the camera. I was genuinely confused which pocket camera should I buy, whether the Pocket 4P or the Luna Ultra, but I ended up buying the Pocket 4P. It is all because the DJI color science. Second reason is the dynamic range. They are claiming it as 17 stops of dynamic range. Third is the DJI ecosystem with the mic. Can easily record your own video with crystal clear audio.
You all get to film the vertical mode in 3K. So to bypass that or to overcome that, what you can do is you can record the video in this way. So as you can see right now when I'm recording the footage, it is in vertical format and it is in 4K, which is pretty good. Because on Instagram, even this 1K or few pixels, it will lead to lower quality videos.
So is the DJI Osmo Pocket 4P perfect? Definitely not. And despite all the flaws which I have mentioned, I will still select this camera over any other camera because I can focus more on creating than to watching the games. Even before the launch event of this camera, there were 2 firmware updates sent to this camera. So definitely they have improved something. So if you have any questions or doubt about this Pocket 4P, then please do write them in comments below and I will surely help you guys out.